If you were
Well,
gonna
okay, so
die tomorrow,
the go-to is Domino's. Okay.
wow, Domino's. If you were gonna die
Okay.
tomorrow,
No, no, it's not what I said about I die tomorrow. I'm flying somewhere.
I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new.
Hi, I'm Noelle, the host of Pop Punk and Pizza, and today I'm joined by Come Clean. So, how are you guys?
we are doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Nice.
So first off, why don't you say your names and what your roles in the band are, like what instruments you each play?
Yeah, I'm Rob. I play guitar and I sing. We're also missing one right now that plays guitar. His name's Owen.
Okay.
Yeah, we got two we're sharing. But I'm Dallas. I'm the drummer, and
And then I'm Zach. I do vocals and I play the bass.
Cool. And where are you guys from?
We're from Kernersville, North Carolina, right between Winston-Salem and Greensboro.
Nice. And what made you want to start this band?
So it was like 2015, 16, something like that. I had a failing relationship and had seen Trophy Eyes at Warp Tour on accident.
Okay.
Their spet was their I was waiting for Neck Deep. Their set was real inspiring. Made me really want to just start playing music again. So the combination of those two things kind of drove us to starting a band.
Cool. And what artists or bands inspire you when you're writing music?
Um, all kinds of stuff. I listen to all kinds of stuff all over the place. Lately, I'm super into Oliver Tree, which is like nothing
Oh,
like
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's like my number one like artist that I'm into right now. But
Cool.
for I mean more like obvious stuff like Blink 182,
Yeah.
and Trophy Eyes and Neck Deep, and been really heavily influenced by Columbus, an Australian band. Um,
Cool.
so a lot of bands like that has been a lot of our influence over 6, 7 years, something now.
Nice. And how did you come up with your band name?
It is the name of a Trophy Eyes song on their Men Move On album, and we
Okay.
thought it made a pretty sick band name that fortunately no one else really had.
Yeah, that's cool. I like when bands have interesting, like their band name comes from a song, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And you have your debut album coming out April 14th called 134. And can you tell me why you decided to call it that and what the album is about, like some of the themes maybe?
Yeah. So just let's see, 1 through 4. It's a number that my girlfriend sees everywhere. And
Hmm.
so as she's been around us over the past 6 years, all of us see it everywhere all the time. We always notice it. We always point out each other and stuff. But me and my girlfriend always notice it, point it out at each other, and it's become like an "I love you" kind of between us. But
Okay.
so a lot of the stuff on the album is like there's probably almost half of it is like love songs I've written for her and stuff. And then we have some other stuff that's like a little darker and dealing with like more mental health stuff and stuff like drug use and things like that.
Hmm.
And Zach wrote a couple, so
Yeah, just playing off of that, like other more darker tones, dealing with failures and, um, finding it hard to overcome certain things that happen in your life.
For sure. I think that's really cool, the number thing that you see it everywhere. Is it kind of like that angel numbers thing where like
yeah,
you see
I
it very
guess.
often and then it kind of means something?
Yeah, I guess where people always see numbers sometimes and stuff, but like it's made it into like his license plate. It used to be his address.
Oh,
Like
cool.
it's
literally like a block and a half away from me, a house. The address is 134,
yeah,
which is the
Oh,
artwork of the album that Rob took.
yeah.
But it's kind of like that movie
yeah.
Number Three, where he just sees it everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. That's interesting. I like that. And so I found a lot of newer bands, they kind of tend to hesitate to write full-length albums because like writing albums can be costly compared to like EPs, and because people nowadays tend to have like shorter attention spans supposedly. So how do you guys feel about that? And like what are your thoughts on full-length albums?
I mean, we've already put out 2 EPs, and so we've had some of these songs that we've been holding on to since our first EP, and songs that we've worked through all of that whole process through starting out in like 2016 through like 2019 ish. We were still finishing up these songs.
Mhm.
So
It's basically a dump. Like this is just a bunch of things that we came out with. We recorded in 2019.
yeah, we recorded it in about 2019.
So we've
Okay.
been and then COVID happened, so there was just no reason to release
big
real
setback. We
Right.
had
yes.
to try to stretch it to last through all of that, however long we didn't know that was going to be lasting.
Right. So like for the new standard definitely is, few songs at a time, have more consistent content than have a whole dump. But at the same time, like we've been sitting on this stuff for so many years, we're ready to now come
Yeah.
out with a smaller bite-sized things that we can kind of continue on, like we're ready
Yeah.
to move on. We've progressed
Yeah.
as musicians.
We're getting out
in-
everything that we've had up until 2019 that we're still holding on to,
Right.
that still seems new to everyone else, but is very old to us.
Yeah.
So we can get it out and we can move on with new EPs and new singles and things like that.
Okay. Cool. And so what is your favorite song that you've released so far?
Our favorite song that we've released, I guess, probably "So Foolish." I think it's a banger. When I wrote it, I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be a banger. He wrote the lyrics to it, did a great job on it.
Yeah, I really like that song too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
big that one hits you in the feels. You
Yeah.
can definitely get those little chilly bumps. Going through that one, and yeah, I definitely think playing wise, even that's one of my favorite songs to just play. It's like I don't even have to think about it. I can just enjoy the song.
Right.
Yeah. If I had to pick a favorite, it's probably the song 134 that's good, that's on the album. I really like that song, and Rob wrote that whole song, and so it was
Mhm.
all new to me when it came, and I learning to play the bass, which was really tough, and sing the song at the same time
Oh, yeah.
gave me this real I don't know appreciation for the song that I didn't have when I first listened to it, but then I just grew to love it so much. So
She said song that was out is your favorite song that's out, not Clarity.
it's out now.
Yeah.
No, that would be When I'm Falling.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. When I'm falling.
So this is our dad. We call this my dad. Our singer here, Zach. So every time we throw the song "When I'm Falling" from Down the Street EP that we did, he'll look through the whole set that we're playing and he'll go, "Oh, there's some really good songs in this set. There's some really good
the only
songs."
one
And
we
it's
got
like,
had.
well, we know it's because there's the one song, but it's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. Cool. So, are there any particular gear or guitars that you liked using on the album or for live shows?
I'm like really super partial to Gibsons and Fenders, just like the classic stuff. I really like orange
Yeah.
amps, but moving into more like current stuff that I'm doing now, like I've been using a Line 6 Pod Go, which is like a simplified Helix, and I can just create like all kinds of tones, all different amps are in there. So that's what I've gone to a lot lately, just because I can.
And it's recallable. You can just recall the song that you're gonna play and just button done.
Yeah. But the Pod Go is just a super easy to use like piece that's just so like crazy versatile. But yeah, I've been playing
Cool.
a Gibson SG for a while, and that's probably like my main like road guitar.
Nice.
Drums wise, shout out to SJC. I do love. I love the tone of a good SJC kit. I use Evans head. I think they're the EC2 heads. I use a HD dry head on my snare, which is it's a 14x7 SJC black nickel over brass. and I like TRX cymbals, as to where they have this really just good tone to them. They're not like too bright, like on the Zildjian side. Even some of their Ks and their, I mean, especially A customs for sure, they can just be slightly too harsh almost, especially in a live setting, just depending on the situation. So these, I think the TRXs have a nice, like, better presence about them. Like they still cut through, but they're not like, killing everybody, because I
Yeah.
already play terrifyingly loud. So
Makes sense.
I play a Fender Precision. I feel like I want to invest in something different here soon, but right now I just have an IP bass and I love it. So
he's been saying that for like 3 years,
All
by
you
the
need is a
way.
bass, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need to
soon
buy
is
another bass.
subjective.
You need to buy your own amplifier. That's what you need to buy.
Yes, I do.
You don't need
I'm
an amp
planning on
or a
investing
bass.
in an
You
amp
need an amp
as well. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
like to
cool.
have another bass just to play around with different tones. Maybe even just buy another Fender Jazz bass. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Cool. And this album was mastered by Grant Berry from Stand Atlantic and Boston Manor. And what was it like working with him?
Just real simple. He's real professional, real quick to respond to your messages and emails. Nice guy. It's just been real professional to work with and quick, easy.
Oh, good. That's
And I
good.
feel like he gave us like options too. He was like, "Hey, I kind of saw the
Yeah,
song going in this direction, but this is also a direction I could see it
There were-
going. What do you guys think?"
Yeah, there were
And
some
Yeah.
songs he'd give us an A and B mix, and we could pick from, which is some stuff that other mastering
yeah, they're pretty
engineers,
straightforward
mastering
sometimes.
engineers.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty
They
straightforward. It's
haven't,
like, okay,
done
what do you
for us.
think? And then you go revisions from there. But instead, it was like, here's a couple things how I was feeling. What do y'all think? And generally, even from a business standpoint, I can see that being somebody being, you know what, this one was better. Let's go with it. All right, great, moving on.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And so otherwise you recorded this album yourselves, right? And so what like challenges did you face? And are there any lessons you learned from recording it yourself that you would take for when you're recording new songs in the future?
So actually, we didn't record it ourselves quite. We recorded with Gage Owens, and he was in High Point at the time. He's currently in Charlotte, working out of Susu's studio. Where Taking Back Sunday is recorded and
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
But
What did we learn?
what do we learn?
Yeah.
So we set for a really long time to work on this. Me and Gage. He like all the other stuff, all the stuff for like the actual recording process was pretty much just how it normally was. It was real relaxed and easy to do with Gage. He was very easy to work with. He's been a friend for a long time.
I think it's in
Yeah.
general, it got us like, for me playing drums, studio work and stuff is something I've always been interested in general. It definitely inspired me to take more steps to have a studio myself. And just, it's always a difference in studio recording and live playing. There
Right.
is just it's a different thing. You're focusing on different things than you are in a live setting. And I think
Mhm.
just that in general vision of a song in a sense of production and looking at it from the outside and then listening to it, just gives you a whole different perspective,
Yeah.
to learning how to then therefore write songs in the future.
Yeah, we've spent probably, I think the last that I saw was like 36 days, like working with Gage in the studio on this album. And we were probably done recording by like day 18 or something like that. And the rest of it was just a lot of me and Gage sitting there going through the mixes and just trying to get them just right. So it was a huge, long, tedious process.
Yeah.
I will say that one thing I did learn in this last studio session, or time we were there, is that we had lots of songs. Some of them we had been playing already, and then some of them had been written, kind of recently.
Yeah.
And when it comes to doing vocals in the studio, I kind of get a big, eye opener there, is that like when you've been playing the songs and we already, have a feel for them, it's so much easier to go in and record those vocals than it is, just writing the song here recently and having to
Yeah,
try.
there
and make
there were
that stuff
songs we
up.
were finishing up like
Yeah.
a few days before we were recording them,
Mhm.
like lyrically.
So-
Yeah.
Not singing
Half,
stuff.
if I'm not mistaken.
So definitely learn something on that. I would like to be a little more polished before we go into the studio for any future songs, especially with the vocals. Just know exactly what we want to do instead of trying to build on it as we're in the studio.
Yeah, definitely. The learning that the performance and the source is
Yes, the
key.
performance.
It's
More
the
of a muscle memory thing.
right.
Yeah.
Well, like once you have the muscle memory down, then you're focusing on the nuances of the song, how you hit the snare, how you
glare.
breathe into that next vocal line, how
Right.
you slide up into that next guitar part, so on and so forth. So just in general, just experience, and growing as musicians.
Yeah, and for
Yeah.
our next stuff, we will get to do it ourselves. We now it's been long enough that we have all the proper equipment and a good place to do it and the knowledge of how to do
Okay.
it and everything now. So the future things will be things that we have done ourselves and then
Yeah.
outsource some of the other additional engineering.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And what has been your favorite venue or show that you've played at so far? Or is there any venue you'd really like to play sometime in the future?
My favorite venue that we ever played, we all have to have the same venue. It has to be that we played the Fillmore in Charlotte
Oh,
for
awesome.
for an emo night, and
Yeah.
there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there.
Honestly, for me, it was just they had a guy there was like, yeah, I'll just throw your stuff, your drums on stage during the sets, and I was like, oh, you'll do that like for me? Oh, sure, great,
They'll put
yeah,
it for you.
right,
We have
like
Yeah,
our
that's
own gear.
nice.
that's goodness,
Yeah, that was
Treatment.
definitely the coolest show we ever played.
For sure.
Cool.
It was the full thing.
Nice. Yeah, that's always nice when you don't have to set up drums yourself, because that, like, I imagine takes forever because there's so much, like, it seems like drums it takes longer to set up than
Takes
like
the longest
guitars,
to
for
set up the
example.
drums. Yeah.
for sure. It's a lot of
Yeah.
more physicality of moving physical parts to a certain spot, and then
Yeah.
to every surface you go in could be different. Like for instance, I have carpet in here, so when I go play on a flat surface, it slightly changes a little bit. And me personally,
Yeah.
very muscle, memory oriented. So like, something's off an inch, then I'm hitting it
Like
different,
Kaboom, dude. The floor at this one venue was like it was flat, and then it would start to like curve up like right in the middle, and that's where the drums go.
It
So
Oh
was-
no.
It
weird.
was you know what, it had a lot of character. That's the
the
best
place was
way
awesome though.
I can say
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I mean, even on top of that, once you get into a room with drums, your drums are going to sound totally different than every other room you've ever also been in. And I'm bougie when it comes to drums, and like I want it to sound full in the room. I want to get that tone out of my drums that it does resonate and it does hit pretty well.
Mhm.
But I say that and you could hear me live and I just get it wrong that day, and it's we're all learning out here.
Yeah.
I will say though, if we had a wish list, I think for sure the Masquerade in Atlanta would be on that wish list. We haven't played the
Okay.
Masquerade yet.
Yeah.
So that would be probably number one on the list that we want to play.
Cool.
So last little thought, I have to shout out to
Yeah.
my wife because she is I call her my drum tech.
Yeah.
She is phenomenal, and she helps me put all my stuff together. I mean, I think it's because she wants to leave the show sooner, but she does a phenomenal job. And yeah, I tell people that she's my drum tech, and that's how she gets in the shows.
Oh, that's
But,
awesome.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So what is your favorite song to play live?
Favorite song to play live. I mean, currently, of our songs, it's still so foolish. We do a
Okay.
pretty mean cover of "Cute Without the E."
Oh, nice. I love that
and
song.
That always gets a
I'll tell
good
you-
response.
It does get a great response. It's not my favorite to play personally
He
as
doesn't
a
like
drummer.
how fast he has to move. His hand.
It's so much hi hat. It's like
It's a fast, hard
Yeah.
song for everyone. You know how hard that is to sing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard across the board. So it's like, all right, guys, here we go. Buckle in. Let's see what happens.
But we usually kill it, and everyone loves it. So.
I agree. it's
It
definitely
always
more.
turns out great every time we play it.
It's definitely more me, getting into my own head before we play it. I am pretty sore, after we, but it's fine.
Yeah.
If I would definitely agree. So foolish. Another one that I mean, I almost have to go two that are coming up on the album. One is overworking. We have our merch guy. His name's Junior or Ricky or Rooster, or we say it's Ricky to Rooster.
His real name's Brad.
Yeah.
His real
No
name's
one calls him
Brad,
that.
but we don't talk about that. But yeah, so he's got a part that he may or may not get at the beginning. He just gives us a solid fuck, at the beginning.
It's usually wrong. It's usually off time.
It's usually wrong, and it's wonderful, and we laugh about it. But it's just a very high energy, high momentum song. I mean, I think we play that one at 220 BPM.
Yeah.
Great time.
It's fast, keeps people moving.
The other one though has
High
got to
energy.
be fortunate for me.
Another high energy, fast, keeps people
high
moving.
energy,
Yeah.
fast. It's great. I'll let y'all listen to it, and you'll figure out why. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I love high energy songs, so makes
Exactly.
sense.
I would stay with, like I said earlier, 134. It's also on that new album. That's one of my favorite songs to play and to listen to that we've written. So yeah.
Nice. And you signed with Standby Records in 2019. So how has that been so far? And are there any other record labels you'd like to be signed to in the future?
So we signed a Standby. We put out our EP with Standby. They called us back to do the album. We recorded the album. We got to the end of recording the album, and then they pulled out and
Without
then-
listening to anything.
Yeah. Well, so
Oh.
basically, bro, I mean, Standby Records, there's no way they're a label anymore. Like,
What
they
did you
haven't done
post-
anything.
What did you
in a-
post the other day?
I didn't
Standby
post it. I
Records been on.
retweeted it.
Yeah, you reposted it. Standby Records been on standby for yeah.
So they haven't done anything. I haven't seen them put out music or anything since 2019ish, before COVID. Haven't seen them since COVID. We just completely split with them. So
Okay.
Yeah, we do not currently have any ties with
Yeah.
Standby, and we are independent.
yeah.
Okay.
Just us. In the future, I wouldn't be against working with another label. I'm not sure specifically like who I would work with. But
Yeah.
I would definitely be open to the support that a label could offer.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Yeah, and it definitely depends on the label what is offered, because I definitely think that the time of big record labels, has, for our level and kind of where we're at, it's almost past, in my opinion. I think
Hmm.
better management can almost do more than a label for you,
Hmm.
but I can be proven wrong. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's different for every band and every record label, it kind of just depends. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's definitely, yeah. And you've also covered Newfound Glory's song Dress to Kill. And are there any other songs you'd like to cover in the future?
I mean, like I said, we do Mean Cute without the E. We've
Yeah.
done Grand Theft Autumn. We're pretty good at.
Oh, nice.
We'll pull out a Creed here every now
Yeah,
and
we
then.
have a
Yeah.
mean
but, we're not
Creed
gonna
cover.
record that.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm not gonna, in the most humble way, it's perhaps better than Creed. So
organically grown. Like we just started doing it.
he just started with the riff one
Yeah, we
day, and
just-
we're like, all right, here we go. This is
play
the
higher.
ride.
We're
We
doing
bought
this.
the ticket, and here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cute without the E and Grand Theft Autumn. Those are the two that we know that and that we're good at and that we kind of have in our pocket. That we
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I really like those songs. So good choices.
I've been trying to get us to do a Story
Say
So
something
Far
crazy.
song for a while, but
Oh, nice.
don't really know what song is going to be best for us to do on that side of the genre. So we're still
Yeah.
kind of swimming in that pool. We'll see what happens.
Honestly, we didn't know that pool existed, so we're
Yeah,
gonna,
he's
we're
literally
gonna
never
make it
asked us. This is the
and
first
move
I've
on.
heard about it. I
No,
love the story so
I-
far. They are probably my favorite pop punk band. So,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
great to hear.
I'm pretty sure I brought up that we should do a couple of different ones multiple times, but everybody was like, "That's hard." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is hard. It's very difficult." So
That was
Yeah.
not me.
drum.
All right. And
Happy about it. Continue. Okay.
all right. So since this is the Pop Punk and Pizza podcast, I always have to ask, what is your favorite kind of pizza?
I'm real basic, and I would just do a cheese, but I normally do extra sauce. I enjoy the sauce. I will do pineapples. I do enjoy the pineapples. My girlfriend has started a pineapple jalapeno thing, which is pretty
Okay.
good on the pizza. The spicy sweet combo. It's pretty
Yeah.
solid one.
I like it. You're wrong about pineapple.
I like crispy pepperonis, but not too many of them, and they gotta be
Yeah.
crispy.
So,
Okay.
so is there also what has been your favorite pizza, or is this like what you just like order on a regular basis?
Like, what's your favorite? I mean, like your favorite of all time.
If you were
Well,
gonna
okay, so
die tomorrow,
the go-to is Domino's. Okay.
wow, Domino's. If you were gonna die
Okay.
tomorrow,
No, that's not what I said about die tomorrow. I'm flying somewhere. But the go-to is Domino's, extra cheese, pepperoni. Wait for it. Well done. Get that extra crispiness.
Oh,
And
okay.
of course, you got to get the little side of cheesy bread. But I will say, Chicago pizza over New York pizza. It's New York pizza is just too greasy. It's still delicious, but it's just you got to take a paper towel to that thing. And
Yeah,
so
I get
our
that.
actual pizza was a place in Florida, though we happened to go to, and it was. I mean, the pizza was
Gypsy Moon in Orlando, Florida,
there it
has
was.
the #2 pizza to New York City.
Yeah, the pizza was probably. I mean, it was the size of my forearm. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that
was.
Gypsy Moon pizza was.
It was. I could
good.
not finish it, and it was. That's all I'll say about it. I can wait. But here we go. My dad.
Yeah, I'm not a big pizza fan,
Really?
but I do say that I like a thin crust pizza. I like lots of sauce and lots of cheese. I don't like it to be like mostly crust. I like the other stuff on there, and I would say my favorite pizza I ever had was on a cruise ship, and they were doing brick oven pizzas, and all it had on it was cheese and tomatoes, and like whatever spices they put on there, but it was delicious. It was so good.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm simple too, but I'm
Yeah.
not a picky person overall. I just don't like pizza all that much. If you put a piece of pizza in front of me, it really doesn't matter what's on it. I'm probably gonna eat it.
I'm pretty picky.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've said it 1,000 times, but what is yours?
My favorite, I think it's margarita pizza. I mean, I don't know. As long as like it doesn't matter if it's simple to me. Like as long as you make it well, then that's all that really matters, as long as it tastes good. So,
It's like a song. If it's a good song, if it's a good song, if it's a good slice of pizza, it's a good slice of pizza.
yeah, exactly.
I feel that.
Yeah. And so when is your next show?
Our next show is this Thursday. We're playing in Raleigh with our buddies Goalkeeper from Philadelphia.
Cool.
And that's our last thing we currently have until Bar Down Breakfast in June.
Nice. And where can our listeners find your music?
Everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever else TuneCore suggests me, Deezer or whatever that is, Amazon Prime or something. I don't know. Everywhere.
Awesome.
Buy a CD. You can get it there too.
And anything else you'd like to plug or mention before we go, like social media or anything?
Come Clean NC everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, all the ones. Plug
Awesome.
my girlfriend Brittany new album's coming out. Half of it's about her.
Cool. Well, it was so nice talking to you guys. I really had fun. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
for having us.
Yeah, of course.
This is the second podcast we've done, and it's fun. We love talking with people. So
It's like
Yeah.
the fourth that we've done, but it's like the second one that we've
It's the
done that's
second
bigger.
one I've been a part of, man.
No.
Oh,
You were at the
cool.
one at Blake's house.
Oh yeah. Okay, so anyways.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Have a good
you.
one.
You have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.